know.
But
listen, I'm gonna say something controversial. The men, I mean, the women that these men call the 304s and the hoes or whatever. Those women, men created, and this is how men created them. Your obsession with the quote-unquote hoe. Porn is $1 billion industry. Yes. So is the strip game. So is the sex industry. You guys chase those women to the point where even the pure ones are running around looking like hoes. They're like, oh, this is what you like? Well, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to give you. And now it's out of control and you don't like it anymore. Now you're getting your passport and you're running away. Where's the pure one? No, this is the one you
literally made a TikTok saying exactly that. This is the one you wanted. The OnlyFans girls. But who's paying the OnlyFans girls?
These guys.
I promise you, not the lesbians or the straight girls.
The ones throwing the ones in the chat. That's who's paying. The ones throwing the ones in the chat.
Females buying OnlyFans.
This is probably the 112th time I've heard this argument. Okay, so,
it's true. It's not an argument. It's factual.
They're the first ones that will call you
factual in this. Okay, yeah, of course. I'm sure there's people in the chat are doing that right now. But the problem with this is it's cyclical. It's a feedback loop, is what it is. It's supply and demand. If there was no demand, there would be no supply. If there was no supply, there would be no demand. It's who is starting what, who has the responsibility to stop it. And you'll notice that it's never put on the woman to stop the loop. It's always put on the man to stop the loop.
Because it's easy money for them.
And by the way, it's not, and that's not necessarily women's fault, because there are men who will say exactly the same thing you're saying right now, except they will be the Puritans. They'll be the ones, the churchy guys. They'll be the ones who say, well, if men could just keep their dicks in their pants, then we wouldn't have these OnlyFans girls. Bullshit.
I don't think
that. Because that's not how the machine was evolved to be. Men get hard-ons. We want to have sex. That's what we're about. Men's innate, natural, evolved mating strategy is unlimited access to unlimited sexuality. You know what delivers that to the common man today? Porn.
Okay, so you go back to like medieval time. Pillaging and raping. If you didn't agree to it, they were going to take it. Right. Women have always had less opportunity job-wise, so they had to be the stay-at-home wife and mother, and they had no choice.
You're talking about before 1974. 1972.
I know you are not talking about going back in time when you all the time talk about caveman mentality shit.
I'm just saying, women actually probably have a little bit more opportunity than men, employment-wise, now than they did.
Employment-wise, I'm not even getting into, but I'm saying the supply and demand. The supply and demand comes all the way back.
Right. If you want to stop that loop, it has to be both. It has to be both.
I agree with you. I agree with you 110%. But I don't want to stop that. I don't want to stop it. I would like to. What I would like to see stop is men pretending that they don't prefer the hoe. That's what I would like to see stop. Like go out, be hoes, and
like
go
that
like
whole following on Instagram.
Yeah, I think there's a different place. I think it's a different place. Like even the guys who call them 304s would still have sex with them. Like, they're not saying that they would.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the
like the whole thing about Stephanie. You're calling Stephanie all these ugly names, but then all of a sudden her
who's Stephanie? I call Stephanie
Palmares. No, not you.
Not me. Okay,
not you. People on the thing. We're calling Palmares a hoe and all these disgusting things and talking about her looks and that. But then all of a sudden she has like how many more new followers?
1,200 new paying followers.
And I bet you half those people were there.
I mean, I've seen even the quote unquote pure girls wanting to run around. We really got to
stop using the word pure.
Okay, what word? Because I'm using their
inexperience.
Loyal.
Okay,
Let's just say loyal.
Loyal.
Yes.
Okay.
Like devotion.
All right, devoted. The devoted women.
Let me tell you why I have a problem with the word purity. I said this on the last show. Is and this is not on you. I hear guys saying exactly the same thing. Like they're saying like, women sell purity. No, they fucking don't. They sell loyalty. They sell fidelity. They sell devotion. They sell natural desire, innate desire for that man. If that man measures up to his burden of performance. It is not about purity. It is knowing with certainty that the baby that comes out of your womb is going to be my fucking kid, and you're not going to cuck me. You're not going to fight. You're not going to go off on, go out and find the guy, find the homeless guy, have sex with him, have his baby, and now I got to take care of the baby, right?
Right.
So that goes back to your caveman days. So how do we put this into a social sense? We say, well, a pure woman is a woman who doesn't do that. Okay, well, what is that? That is have my babies. Do what you said. Do what you goddamn say you're going to do, and because when men and women come together, there's a trade-off between their mating strategies. I have to give up my access to like have multiple women and to like I have to force it. It's in the wedding vows. forsaking all others till death do us part, for richer or for poorer. So if suddenly I got money and suddenly I get poor, you're still on board with me.
Update the vows.
For sicker,
Update the vows.
For sicker or for poor. This is why I said, what is marriage today? Because the reason why you're saying that is because today we're like, well, I don't know if that works for me anymore. Right. Richer or for poor. Sickness and in health. If I get a big old goiter on my fucking neck, you're going to stick around and you're going to be with me and while I get this taken care of, right? That's what those assurances were for. So for men, it was, I'm going to give up all of these access, all of my opportunity to go and bang other women because I'm going to parentally invest in just you because I think I love you. I'm going to stick by with you no matter what till death do us part because God said it, or whatever your personal beliefs are about it. And the baby's going to, the only thing that I want to know, my only thing, my one caveat in all of this, I'm going to take care of you, do whatever I'm supposed to do as a man. I just got to know one thing. The fucking kid is my kid that comes out from between your legs when it happens. So that is purity in a nutshell, but it's really fidelity. It's forsaking all others. I'm not gonna be with any other man at the end of the day. So it's not about, if we can call it purity if you want to put it in a religious sense, but what is purity? It comes down to fidelity, loyalty, devotion, and you're trustworthy.
Right, but I'm talking about aesthetics right now. I'm talking about the girls that, I'll just use purity for lack of a better word.
You want them to look like a good girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Even those girls are running around looking like the quote-unquote hoe. We have all these rappers that act like strippers. None of them ever stripped except for Cardi B.
Yeah.
None of them have ever stripped.
True.
They're all on stage twerking and dancing for dollars. So I really do feel that is the world that men built. Now everybody's a hoe. Now what?
Okay.
Now you're looking for a wife again.
So
it's not how it works.
I think you're half right. I'll tell you the other half of this is that it's also the economy, the sexual economy between women. So a woman has to compete. If she's going to compete with, if the good girl is going to compete with the hoe, she's got to be that. Just add a little bit of hoe to her act. So
just a little sprinkle.
So because what it is it's escalation. How can I advertise myself so that I am more appealing to the guys that I want to get with? Well, this hoe's got all these girls over here. So if I hoe it up just a little bit more, then it becomes an escalation. So it's, yes, do guys want to get with that? They do, but women also see that as a form of competition amongst each other.
But why don't they just sit, since men want that woman that looks pure, why doesn't she just sit back and just take all the men that want that pure woman?
Would you like to
why
know?
doesn't she have options? She should have options because that's what men claim they want.
Yes.
So why doesn't she just sit back with all her options?
Because they want her as the main. They want her as the main, and they want the hoe as a side piece. That's why.
Which is what she was saying.
Yep. Yeah.
Isn't that what she just said?
Well, okay. Now let me explain something else to you here. So you've got. Remember we were talking about clothes on his end, clothes on her.
Yes.
All those formats. And I was actually asked Jody. I said, what's your situation like? Well, it's like mine, right? I know what cheating is in my marriage, and she does too. Okay. And I know what's expected of me, and she knows what's expected of her. Now there are other people. I'm not going to mention names. Who it is open on his end and closed on any of the girls that are on the outside. His soft harem, let's just say. He's got his O's, right? And they always have a main. There's always one girl who's like, you're my queen. Just these girls aren't important to me. They're just the sex act is one, because men can separate the sex act from the emotional investment. Okay. So, but there's still the guy. And this is why I always have a problem with this. There's still the guys who say, I'm married. Like when I hear Destiny say he's married, I'm like, no, you're not fucking married. You're just fucking around. You are not in a marriage, at least in a traditional sense.
You're fucking around with paperwork.
You're just fucking around.
You got paperwork, but you're still
fucking around with paperwork.
I don't even know why they call it marriage. It really should be called something else because I think the word marriage represents something traditional. Use the name
So tradition or convention, the idea is this: is that guys still want that main. They still want their baby mama. They still want that woman to be home to have the home cooked meal, and it's even better if she's really fun in bed. But then guys who will say, "Oh, a high value man can cheat," like Kevin Samuels or anybody else will say the same thing. And I've always been of the opinion, like, why would you have a main? Why would you want to have some sort of baby mama or some sort of main girl that you keep coming back to while you're fucking around with that girl? Why don't you just make that one girl part of the girls that you're spinning plates?
Do you think it's conditioning, though? Do you think it's conditioning?
It's because men on some level, like lizard brain level of consciousness, still want to have a woman who would be a good mother for their children, that they can provide, that they want to be invested in, but they want to stick with that one girl and then still have the options to interbreed with other women while they can come back to that one girl that they are invested in, and that's where their kids are. Now, in the conventional sense, in my sense, in your sense, that's one man, one woman. We don't cheat. That's when it's the nuclear family. Today, That's all up for grabs right now. Anybody
so hence the modern woman, and the modern woman was born.
But see the innate, the evolved nature of men is that we want to fuck women. We want to. That's why you want to know why porn is a multi-million-dollar juggernaut, and there's 4K streaming free porn anytime. We can go watch Lena the Plug right now if we want to.
I think that's what we're going to do at the end of this.
Maybe
hey, you know what we should do? Hey guys, who would be down for this? Guys, put a one in the chat. If we all just watch the Lena the Plug scene right now. We all watch the Lean to the Plug scene right now. You just see our reactions on camera. You guys want us to do that? Here we go. I'm going to pull up the Lean to the Plug scene. Keep talking. Here we go.
I refuse.
I kind of want to see.
Haram.
I kind of want to know.
But I was going to say, I think that they're on some level of consciousness, men want to have children, but they also want to know that the child is theirs. That's why they have that one main that they're going to be parentally invested in, and they still want to screw around on the sides, right? Women, on the other hand, they've got to find the balance between the hot guy who's good for the short-term genetic benefits. He's the hot, fun guy that you want to fuck. It doesn't matter if he's homeless. It doesn't matter. He's just got to have good DNA. It's got to be fun in bed. And he pays the rent with his dick, right?
Right.
Okay, because you're already paying the rent with everything that you've done with your money and your business and everything else. So when that guy still wants to, Jesus Christ. No, my eyes. This is distracting. This is a challenge. This is a test. But long story short, for women, hypergamy means they're looking for the best sexual experience they can get, just like that, and they're also looking for the best long-term security benefits in that guy. Though that rarely exists in the same guy. That's why you get to fuck the homeless guy, and then you go, you know what? Maybe it was fun while it lasted, but now I need a man with some benefits now. Okay, so
you see these benefits right here. You see these benefits? Look at that. That's the benefits. You see this?
She's thick.
Why does it rarely happen though? Why can't the? That's a big man.
I was like,
that's a big man.
That's what I was saying.
She's either tiny or he's humongous.
That's a big man.
I'm scared.
Why does it rarely exist in one man? Why is it that the hot guy never has any money, and then the guy with money is not hot?
Because you don't. First of all, you don't expect it, right? And the guy that's fun to fuck was probably when you were younger, right? He was a guy that was between the ages, say, like 18 and 28. You're looking for a different guy than what you're looking for when you're 29, 30, 31 years old. Because now you're like, oh, I had my fun. I was so crazy in college, but now I'm going to get right with God, and now I'm going to go and change my mind about everything. And this guy, you better jump through these hoops. I mean, I've got these rules for you, and you better love your mom and like puppy dogs and want kids and have a good education and love your mom, love your family, come from a good family, have a good job. All this laundry list of criteria now. But the problem is that usually happens right around 29, 30, 31 years old. And now you're being cycled out of that sexual marketplace while the next crop of 21-year-olds are coming in.